Hi everyone. Good evening once again. Thank you for joining today's class. I hope Sunday as a rest day has been going on well. Okay. Um, like the class administrator said, we are going to be doing a quick recap of what was learned yesterday. I hope you can all see my screen. If you can see my screen, let me know. Do we have anybody there? Anybody? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear
Any other
you.
person? Do you have Mr. Tolu here?
Yes, I can
Hi,
hear you,
Mr.
sir.
Godwin. Hi, Mr. Tolu.
Yeah,
Hi, Mr.
yeah, I
Kayode.
can hear
I
Is
can
you.
Mr.
hear you.
Kayode here? Hi, Madam Ayodeji. Do we have Fantastic Debbie? Hello, Fantastic
Um,
Debbie. I don't think she's online.
I
We have Fantastic Debbie here.
No, she's not online.
Okay. I think Fantastic Debbie is not. She was not able to make it yesterday.
Somebody is waiting at the lobby.
All right. I think he might have a little glitches in his network. It's not connecting. It's taking time to connect. I think he might have a little. All right. Would like to go through what we did yesterday. Okay. Now we have someone. Okay. Let's start from there. Okay. So yesterday for those of us that was around yesterday, can we tell us one or two things that we learned before we venture on to our class today? One or two things that you picked yesterday. Anybody? Anybody? Do we have anybody? Hello, do I have people in this class?
Okay. Good evening.
Good
We
evening,
talked
sir. Good
about
evening,
Power
all.
BI. We talked about building block of Power BI. We talked about the dashboard. Talk about the data model and some other things. This is the Power BI and also
Just some
um,
other things.
I think on the Power BI we still mention can't really remember. Apart from these three that I mentioned, there are more you mentioned. That is, I mentioned
Okay,
dashboard,
so
I mentioned data.
okay, so
Okay,
when I want our class to be more interactive,
okay,
because the way we are deploying this lecture, I will, before we say anything, I want us to say our names so that we can get. I can't distinguish the name if this is Mr. Tolu or Godwin or Kelvin. You understand what I
okay,
mean? Or this is
okay.
Ayo, so
The
that
speaker,
it's easier for
speaker
us
is
to.
okay. Okay, I'm Godwin.
Okay, hi Godwin. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I just mentioned that we talk about building block of Power BI, I can remember vividly three where
Okay,
you
tell
use
us.
dashboard, data, model, and
Okay,
then I also
your
remember.
visual,
I'm just trying to
your
remember
visualization,
everything. Not structured. You
your
said
visualization, your visualization.
visualization and okay, visualization. Manage. There's okay. There's another aspect you were talking about as on under analysis. Yes, you talk about to visualize, talk about to analyze, talk about to manage, prepare.
Those are
I
that
can
are like
remember that.
tasks.
I've not. I didn't go. I didn't do any. I didn't listen. I didn't. I wanted to review, but I've not really gotten into really recap to really go through very well. And then what was really
Okay,
taught.
but
I never
do
really
you
know what to
plan
say.
listening
But
very well
this I
today?
don't remember.
I said, do
Huh?
you plan listening very well today?
No, I listened. I listened yesterday. What I mean is that I really needed to go through what I listened to yesterday. So,
Okay,
what I
so the
planned,
link
but
has been sent.
like I told Magnificent that at the time my voicing was no more. I wasn't hearing anything again. I told her that this morning.
All right, so we had an
I don't know
agreement,
if it's on
like I
my
said.
phone. Okay.
Yes, I said join with your laptop, also join with your phone. Okay, whereby it
Yeah.
becomes easier for you to see the screen with your laptop and then listen with your phone. Do you understand?
But I have not even joined with my laptop at any time. It's just that yesterday, I don't know what happened. Probably it was network. Okay, I didn't see. I was seeing you, how your display, the display on what everything, all the things you're doing, but I couldn't just hear the voicing. And I tried to indicate that I'm not hearing, but I also perceive I was not heard too at your end. So I don't know what
You
caused it.
were heard, oh,
So this
you were
morning
heard.
she was telling me
I
it's
was
the
asking
network.
if they could hear you, and they could hear
Hmm?
you. People heard you. You were the one that was not able to.
Okay, okay,
We
you
could
people
hear
heard
you.
me. Okay, hey,
Yes.
okay. I was not hearing all those time. Before
All
then, I
right.
was not hearing, but yes.
Okay. So apologies for that. We truly apologize for that. But what would you can do is to connect with your laptop and then listening with your mobile device. Do you understand? We have sent you that code because we want you to join as many as possible. So join with your laptop, even if it's not speaking out. You can use your mobile phone to also join, and then plug your earpiece so that you can hear what is going on in the class. Okay? Because why? If you are connecting with your mobile phone, I can bet it with you. You are not ready to learn anything in this class. You understand? Because today we are going to be deploying a whole lot of stuff. So are you going to be deploying Power BI on your phone? Definitely not now. You're not going to be deploying so or look at this dashboard that we created yesterday. I mean what I was talking about yesterday. We are going to be creating all of this. So you can't do all of this on your mobile phone. Okay, so yesterday we look at the overview of data, the different categories, how they can be descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and cognitive. Okay, so we look at the roles that people can do, okay, and the kind of exams that they can also do. Then we also look at the tax. This is what you're trying to say, right? This is what you're trying to say, Mr.
Yes,
Godwin. The tax
yes, that's it.
that analysts do. First of all, they prepared using data, then they create their model, then they visualize, then they analyze, and then they manage assets and all of that. Okay, so we were able to do some questioning and all of that yesterday. So we were able to do some questioning and all of that yesterday. Okay, so when we look at the different parts of Power BI, if you remember, so you also talk about building blocks of Power BI, where we talk about your visualization, your data, your model, your tiles, and your Power BI service. Okay, so this is what you were trying to look at. This is what you said. Remember, your visualization, your data set, your report, your dashboard, and your tiles. So these are the building blocks. Okay, so we look at. I explained in details what you meant by data Power BI service. Do you remember? You understand? Where you create your when you create your Power BI from the Power BI desktop and you publish it where it goes to. Okay, so I think so that was that. Then that was that. So we move into the other part of the training, which was this how to get data into your Power BI. So we look at different sources of data. You know, your data can come from SQL database, your data can come from Excel, it can come from Cosmo DB, it can come from SharePoint. So your data can come from SharePoint, your data can come from Microsoft SQL Server, data can come from Microsoft Excel, can come from Cosmo DB, from even Azure Analysis. So you can see different. So all of them goes into Microsoft Power BI when Power Query has transformed the data. Okay, so we look at different type of files, you know, and then how your data can migrate from the source, like I said, and then into your Power BI, and then your Power BI do a lot of transformations, and then you have beautiful dashboard, right? Beautiful dashboard. Okay. So now from here we look at different sources. So look at it. You can connect your data from Azure Data SQL database, Azure Data SQL Data Warehouse, Analytics Services, Postgre. See, all these ones is because it's from Azure. Look at it. All this one here. See, this can be mute. It's from Azure. All this one here. All this one here. It's from Azure. Just Azure alone. So which means if you click on Power Platform, you will see the list where you can collect all your data from. If you click on database too, you will see the links where you can collect all of this from. If you click on files, click on online services, you will see web services and all of that. Okay. So then just an example of how you get data. And then so I think that was where we are. Hello, can we all mute please? Somebody seems to be on the road or it's raining somewhere. All right, so this is where we got yesterday, where we look at the different data engine. You know, here I was talking about Azure Synapses, and then so don't worry, like I said, you will have access to all of this and you'll be able to see it. Then you can have how will I put it now? Your database where you can work directly from. You look at this database. So if you look at this database is called Adventure World. Okay. Look at the server. The server is Azure SQL, Azure Synapses. You understand? But don't worry, like I said, you understand all of this as time goes by. So this is where we were yesterday. So for question 1, which query language do you use to extract data from Microsoft SQL Server? Who can help us? Who can help us? Can anybody hear me? Question 1. So which query language
Yes,
do
sir.
we use to extract data from Microsoft? Yes. Which query language do we use to extract data from Microsoft SQL Server? So in question number 2 says, you are creating a Power BI report with data from Azure Analytics. So it says you are creating a Power BI report with data from an Azure Analytics Services queue. When the data refreshes in the queue, would you like to see it immediately in the Power BI report? How should you connect? Okay, so let me show you the answer. The answer is T-SQL. We spoke about it, transact SQL, earlier yesterday. So that is the language for your SQL server. So the answer to this, what do? You connect live. When you connect live, it reconnects, like it's always updating itself. Okay. So lesson 2, how do we optimize performance? So when you finish this lesson 2, we are going to be deploying some tools to work. So optimize performance. How do we optimize our performances? So what does it mean to optimize performance? What does it mean to optimize performance? So select a storage mode. Specify the storage mode of a table and let Power BI determine how to catch data for reports. Set the storage mode for each table individually. Okay. Let me explain better this. Okay. So now, most popular way to use data in Power BI is to import it into the Power BI data set. So importing the data means that the data is stored in the Power BI files and gets published along with the Power BI report. Do you get that? So if you upload your data into Power BI, like you import it into it, it will cache it. So this word here, cache, this word here, it means that it's going to have like a temporary memory to store up that data. That's the meaning of that word, cache. Or some people call it cache. You know, sometimes on your phone, when your phone is full, it asks you to clear your cache. Do we all get what I'm trying to say? It asks you to clear your cache. So now, what it's now trying to say is that this process helps us to make it easier for you to interact directly with your data. Why? Because a copy of your data is already stored inside the Power BI. Okay. Now, this approach might not work for all organizations. Of course, some organizations will not release their data for you. Some organizations, why? They already have a database somewhere, a server somewhere, where all you need to do is just connect to the server and then it will pick just the one that you need to analyze, not every data. Okay. Now, however, this approach might not work for all organizations. The 3 different type of storage mode you can use is number 1, import. Now, look at it at the top, import. So import means that, of course, now normal import. Import mode allow you to create a local Power BI copy of that your data set, from your data source. Do you get now? So if you have an Excel file, Excel sheet, or Excel data set, Excel, you now upload it. Upload means that you are taking a copy of that Excel set into your Power BI. So your Power BI will now copy it. It will create a temporary memory for that data and keep it somewhere, so that you can now work with it and all of that. So that mode is called import. Okay. Now, direct query. Now, if you look at direct query, you say create a direct connection to the data source. Now, this time around, this one is creating the data is not being carried up like that, but it's just connecting a connection to the data so that it can go to where the data is. Query it. Query means that it will ask for question and say, okay, I want this data, and that one will give you a copy, and then it will now use it. He said, create a direct connection to the data, ensuring that data is not cached. Can you see the difference now? Ensuring that data is not cached. I've explained what cached means to you, and you are always viewing the most up-to-date data, because that one will be up-to-date. Why? Because you are within SQL data. So if you look at dual composite, so what is dual? Dual means that you can set it in dual, which means that, I want to be able to import my data. At the same time, I want to also have a direct query contact to my data. You understand what that means? So identifying some data may be directly imported, identifying some data to be directly imported, and other data that must be queried. You understand? So some data, so you can just use the two. However, sometimes there may be security requirement around your data. Of course, that is why you use manage. Remember, in your task, your data analysis task, there's manage there. Remember, you prepare. After you prepare, what do? You prepare your data. After you prepare your data, what do? You create your model. When you create your model, you create your visualization. When you create your visualization, you do your analysis. When you do your analysis, then you can manage. Okay. You understand? You can manage. So, however, sometimes there may be security requirements around your data that will now make it impossible to directly import a copy of it. Yes, some company will not allow you to copy their data. Why? There's so much security around their data. But if you need to now do analysis, what they will do is give you a role-based access control. Role means that, this person is going to be working for us as what now? They're going to be working for us as a data analyst. Then you will need access to this data. They will now create a role access to you based on your role that you're going to be performing, and then based on your role, then you now have access to it. Okay, so now the class administrator said something about you getting the video. Okay, I want to show you something. If I press done so that you see it. Now, today is the fourth class. Today is the fourth class that we are having in this training. We started last week. This was our day one. Can you see? I know you can see my screen. You can see data analytics, Maright, day one. This is day two. So definitely this was last week Saturday. This was last week Sunday. This is day three. Day three is yesterday, the one we have. Okay. I'm showing you the video of our training. You understand what I mean? Why? Look at this video. These videos, they are videos. They are uploaded in your Google Drive. I hope you can see Google Drive. So inside Google Drive, we have a folder called Maright Training. Did you get it? So let me go into Google Drive. So we have a folder called Maright Training. So look at this folder. So if I open the folder, it shows all the 3 videos we've had. Okay. Now, look at this side. this side is saying something about the whole training here. He's saying, look at the details. Look at details. You can have details about this folder. So all the 3 videos are inside the folder. We're talking about that folder. Then you can look at the activities that has happened on that folder. So look at the activities. It says today around 6:35. This upload was done. Maright Services uploaded an item. What did they upload? They upload the 3 video. Last week, an upload was done. What did they upload? Day 2. What did they upload? Day 1. So now, begin to look at this now. He's saying this person who happen to be a user can do what? Can view. Can you see? Can you see the access level? The access level. I hope you are following me. This person can view. This person can view. On that May 8th, they share an item. Sharing an item means that they share that link. This person can view. This person can view. Can you see? This is Godwin Shegun Ejibo. Can also view. Chinozo can view. Tolu Oyelakin can view. Tolu Lokperujaye can view. Magdalene can view. Okay. Now, those are the people. That is what we call access control. Can you see it now? If you are not Tolu Lokperujaye, you can't view this video. If you are not Magdalene, if you are not Tolu Oyelakin, if you are not Godwin, why? You know what? Everybody here, okay, he said Adedotuntu can view. So everybody here has paid for this training. So because you are paid for this training, it's not for public consumption. So it's only meant for those that have paid. Now, we put a restriction on it. Do you get? Now, that's the activities. So if I go here, look at the statement. It said shared. Did you see it? Shared. It's telling you that this folder is shared. So anything I put inside this folder, everybody that I mentioned will see it. Those people that I've mentioned now. Why? Because they have been given an access to see what is inside this folder. They can only see what is inside this folder. They can't see what is inside the drive. Any other thing. They can't see any other thing. They can only see what is inside there. Because that is the access level that Maright Services has given to whoever that need access to this folder where they are going to be putting this video. Okay. So if you look at the share that I told you about, if I click on it, see what it's saying. So this is where I want you to really understand this control. Here, you can share this folder with people or with group. He said Maright Services Limited. Who owns it? Is the owner of the group, is the owner of the account. So he has what we call an owner role. He has what we call an owner role. Okay. So he decided to share with Adedotun. He decided to share with Oyedeji, Ayodeji. He decided to share with Chinozo, Godwin, then Magdalene, then Oluwakayode, Tolulokpe. And then see what they did. They gave them a viewer role. Viewer. The only thing you can do on this video when you have it is to be a viewer alone. You can only view. Now, if I click here and I say, what other role can I give this person? I can say a commenter, someone that can comment. I can say an editor. Now, if I give this person an editor, this person can go into that folder, and then remove it You understand what I'm trying to say? If I click done, this is the folder. So because if I decide to give someone here now, like I said, I change this person's access rule and say, oh, I don't want you to be a viewer. I want to be an editor. I want to be an editor. So it becomes an editor and I save it. Editor means that you can edit what is inside the folder. So how can an external person would come and be editing what is inside an organizational folder? Do you understand what I'm saying? It means that it must have a role. You know, that activities must be role-based. Oh, because your role is this, then this person should be given the authority or the power or the permission or ability. You must have the ability to edit what is inside. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This is just an analogy, you know. So go back to viewer and then press done. So anything you dump here, Chinozo, Godwin, from the link that was sent to them, they can only see anything that is dumped here. They can't see beyond this. You understand? So sometimes that's why. So for example, if you put some data here, one way or the other, I hope you know we have this is also a data, it's a video data. So let's say we put a lot of data here and we want you to query that data. We want you to query that data. For example, let me look for an Excel sheet. Let me see if I can get an Excel sheet. Okay, so I can just come and do a file upload. Okay, so this is an Excel sheet. So put an Excel sheet in. Now we have an Excel sheet. Now every one of you can have access to this Excel sheet. Why? because it's inside Maright training. Because you have access to it. You can only view. You can't edit the Excel sheet. So now, if I want to share this Excel sheet, I can still share this Excel sheet and say, oh, get the link. Can you see? I get the link. So it's saying that, oh, this link will automatically be shared with all these people. Why? Because they are already inside the group. Inside the group. I can still decide that, oh, this data, I don't want this person to see it. I can remove. Can you see? I can remove access. Oh, I don't want this person, Kayode Betel, to see it. I can remove access. So which means that by the time Kayode is getting the whole link to this Maright training, he will see all the videos. You know, there are 3 videos, but he won't have access to this one. He can't even read it. He can't view it. He won't have access to it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's your role-based access. That's your role-based access. You understand? So your role, your access to these videos now is because you are a viewer. You understand? So you need to view this particular content, of course, because the content are meant for you. So let me go back to. So now we already understand what this one is saying. Yes, I'll put it going. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you understand what that is saying now. So from here now, when you import your data, it's easier to say, oh, you get a copy of that data. But when you say I want to use direct query, then you don't. For example, now if I go back to that Excel now, I say I want to do a direct query. So doing a direct query means that I will copy the link. You understand? That link, there's a link. Let me, let's assume this is our Excel file. Let's assume this is an Excel file. So there's always a link. I will get the link. I will say, okay, this link, copy this link. I'll copy this link. Once I copy this link, let's assume it's an Excel file. Then you now come and paste it somewhere within your Power BI. Your Power BI will now go and read the file. You know, you now have access now, remember. You now go and read the file from your database. That means your database means where you have kept that Excel file. You go and read it, you won't copy it. That's the meaning of direct query. But meanwhile, you can run a SQL query to get to some data. Okay. All right. So now fix performance issue. So how do you fix performance issue? Within your data BI, what do? You go to your files, you see, you can just do your diagnostics and see some changes that will occur there. Let me just show you. He said occasionally organization need to add. So can you see that he kept saying organization? Why organization? The Power BI is meant for enterprise. Enterprise means that businesses is what it's business that use them. You want to become a data analyst, not because you want to just go learn and go and be playing at home. No, you want to use it for businesses that make money. You understand? You want to increase your knowledge and say, oh, I can do this. And then look for solution or get you insight from this. So you use it within organizations. Organizations will need to address performance issues when running reports. So what are the performance issues? So Power BI provide a performance analyzer tool to help you fix problems and streamline the process. So can you see? So which means that if you open your Power BI, this is file, home, transform. These are the heading. You now come to your tools. If you come to your tools, you click on diagnostic options, and then what is trying to say is that it can fix problem. You can just identify some problem and say, oh, these are some issues. Okay, can you just do it this way, do it that way, do it that way? Okay. So consider the scenario where you are building reports for the sales teams in your organization. Okay, now, so you are a data analyst, you are building reports for your sales teams. Of course, you know, your sales teams we comprise of your marketing teams, you know, those guys that are in sales, you are the one building their report because every work, every sales they are making, you are tracking it. Okay, so we want to now have a scenario. This scenario where you are building that report for your sales team in your organization. You have imported your data. Now see, that data is not in a server. That's why you are able to import it because probably it's in an Excel. Now, which is in several tables within your sales team SQL database. Okay, don't worry, you understand all this later. Data, SQL data. Very soon, sir. So, which is in several tables within the sales team's SQL database. Okay, so your SQL database can house different databases. So within your database, they can also create for sales team, they can create for marketing, they can create for HR, they can create for admin. You know, like I said, you know, but those ones you will get it. We will get there when we begin to run our machines. Okay, sales teams. Now, by creating a data connection to the database through direct query, remember, you know, we have three types: your import and your direct query, then DOA. So when you now create connection to direct query, so is that when you create a preliminary visuals and filtering, you notice that some tables are query faster than the other. Okay, some filters are taking longer to process compared to others. Why? Why would that happen? So you can do a query diagnostics. Why are some table querying very fast? Why are some of my querying? Why is this so slow? So another tool that you can use to study query performance is your query diagnostics. So you can see here your query diagnostics. You understand? So query performance means that how best am I querying? Your query means you are saying go and get me so data. it will go. That system, that machine will go and bring it. Go and get me so data. That machine will go and bring it. So it's telling you how fast are these performances. So another tool that you can use to study query performance is your query diagnostics. So these features allow you to determine what bottleneck, that is challenges, if there's any that exists while loading and transforming your data. Okay, so because you can have challenges. For example, your data might not be written very well. Written in the sense that your data you can read, write, and might not be written very well. So if there's an error, it will be giving you an error. So your query diagnostics helps you to see where the error is coming from, and then you can now fix it. Okay, so refreshing your data in Power Query, running SQL statements in Query Editor, and so on. So here you can know, okay, should I go and refresh my data in Power Query? Should I run another SQL statement? And all of that, and so on and so on. Okay, so what other techniques can you use? Number one, you can process as much data as possible in the original data source. You can use your native SQL queries. You can do a separate date and time if it is bound together, and all of that and all of that. Okay. Let's go into optimize your performance. So in optimizing your performance, in optimizing query performance in Power Query demands heavily. See, this word Power Query is one of those things that you use in your Power BI. Just keep it at the back of your mind. Performance in Power Query depend heavily on the performance at the data source. So for you to get good performance at your Power Query level, your performance must actually come from a data source. So follow performance tuning guidelines of the source product. Some performance tuning can also be done in Power BI. Okay. So what this is saying basically is that the performance of your Power Query depends on the performance at the data source level. So whether you take it or not, your data source must be correct. You must not have so much of error. Though you can correct some of these data, you can correct them. That data source, you can correct them in your Power Query. Because your Power Query is in your Power BI now. It is that machine that transforms your data in your Power BI. Okay? So the variety of data sources that Power Query offers is very wild. So the variety of data sources that Power Query offers is very wild. And the performance tuning techniques for each sources are equally wild. So we must, today now, or later, we are going to be learning more about performance tuning techniques. Tuning means you want to fine tune some things to make sure that they are beautiful, they are doing well and all of that. Performance tuning techniques for each data source. So for instance, if you extract data from a Microsoft SQL Server, you should follow the performance tuning guidelines for the product. Why? Because you have extracted from SQL Server. So good SQL Server performance tuning techniques include index creation, hardware upgrading, upgrade, execution planning tuning, and data compression. Okay, so how do you fine tune your data for good performance, even within your SQL Server? What do? You must follow index creation. Index creation helps you to reduce the amount of data that is queried at the same time. Then hardware upgrade. For example, if your machine is running on 1 gig RAM, what do you want to query? And you are querying a very high data. Increase your 1 gig RAM to like 4 gig RAM or to like 8 gig RAM. That's what they mean by hardware upgrade. Increase, for example, your computer. Some of you now, by the time we start the training now and start deploying all those AV machines, your machine will slow down. Like I said yesterday, it will slow down. It will frustrate you. You understand? So you might have to, upgrade. Upgrade. Execution planning. So imagine if you are trying to open your Facebook data and your data is loading, it's just telling you loading. It will frustrate you. It will frustrate you now. You now begin to talk, what nonsense, what kind of Facebook page is this? How can Facebook be giving us product that everybody want to connect, it's just loading. No, they will deploy machines that can work very fast. You get? So data compression, that's another way of fine-tuning it. So these topics are beyond the scope here, of course, and they are covered only as an example to build familiarity with your data source and then reap the benefits when using Power BI and Power Query. So don't worry, we'll use Power BI and Power Query. So Power Query takes advantage of good performance at the data source through a technique called query folding. Now, let's listen very well. Power Query. We have been mentioning Power Query, Power Query, Power Query. Your Power Query is the engine that is built inside your Power BI to do what? To do your data transformation. Just to understand it like that. So sometimes this Power Query take advantage of good performance. That is when you have good hardware, you have built indexes, and everything is working well. You can take advantage of this performance at the data source through a technique called query folding. Okay. So that is that. So what is query folding? Remember, the last time they mentioned query folding, what did they say about query folding? What did they say about query folding? It says Power Query takes advantage of good performance. So it is when you have, how do you get good performance? How do you get good performance? You get it through fine tuning. You understand? Say for instance now, if you extract data from a SQL server, you should follow the performance tuning guideline. So what are these performance tuning guidelines for your products? So good SQL plan tuning. So it's saying good SQL server performance tuning techniques include, these are the things that will increase your performance at your data source. Number one, index creation. You understand? It's like, don't worry, we will get there. It's like building index. Index means that, oh, if your name is A, you open OA like this, it will bring all your information. Then hardware upgrade, like I explained to you, execution planning tuning, and data compression. Data compression means that you reduce the size of the data so that it can run very fast. Okay, so when this now happen now, it says your Power Query will take advantage of all these good things to make your data run through a process called query folding. So we want to now look at query folding. What is query folding? Your query folding is a process that lets Power Query generate a single query statement to retrieve and transform source data. Your query folding is a process that lets Power Query, I've told you your Power Query is built inside your Power BI, to generate a single query statement. It will generate a single query statement. That query statement, will retrieve and transform source data. Like you see, all this one you are seeing now by this side, they are query folding. Why? Some activities as it has changed. This is source. Your data is source. Then you have said you gave a command. It did some notification. You give another command. It promoted something to headers. You give another command. You change type. You can see that now. So all these things is what we call query folding. You get there and I will show you in your Power BI. Okay. So let me go over it again. So we said the query folding within Power Query Editor helps you increase the performance of your Power BI reports. Helps you increase performance. So query folding is the process by which the transformation and edit that you make in Power Query Editor are simultaneously tracked as native query or a simple select SQL statement while you are actively making transformation. So the reason for implementing this process is to ensure that this transformation can take place in the original data source. So this is what we are looking for. The reason for implementing the process. What process? your query folding is to ensure that this transformation can take place within the original data source. Like I showed you there, look at this statement here. You can see source. So the moment you load your data into your Power BI, it gives you source. Any activities you now carry out on your on your data is now going to be listed listed by. So here you can see navigation. Then, for example, this promoted header means that, for example, your data has an header, but he has not seen it. He has not recognized it as header. You can promote it. How do I mean as an header? For example, you have an Excel sheet. Inside your Excel sheet, you have a column name, you have all names, phone number, and all of those things. You have it named. You have all those things named. But on top of your name, phone number, and all that, you have, let's say, a statement there that says this is the data sheet for something. When you load it into Power BI, Power BI can see that statement at the top as the heading. But it knows that your heading must come in columns and rows. So it will now ask you, do you want to promote this heading? So when you say yes, so yeah, promote this next line as my heading, it's going to run some query. So that's what they're trying to say. So if you decide that, oh, I don't want to, maybe you have promoted it and you're like, oh, I don't want what I did. You can always, cancel it and go back. Okay. So that's what they are trying to say here, that the reason for implementing this process is to ensure that this transformation can take place in the original data source server and do not overwhelm Power BI computing resources. So you can use Power BI query to load data into Power BI. Okay. Using Power BI, using Power Query Editor, you can then make further transformation to your data, such as renaming. So what transformation can you do to your data? You can rename your data. You can delete columns. You can append. Append means that you can add something. You can do parsing. You can do filtering. You can group your data. You can do a whole lot in your Power Query. So the benefits to query folding include, so what are the benefits? More efficiency in your data refreshes and incremental refreshes. So when you import data table by using query folding, Power BI is better able to allocate resources and refresh the data faster, because Power BI does not have to run through each transformation locally. Okay, so what other benefits? Automatic compatibility with direct query and dual storage models. So all direct queries and dual storage model data sources must have this backend server processing ability to create a direct connection. So which means that query folding is an automatic capability that you can use. So if all transformation can be reduced to a single select statement, then query folding can occur. So in the view native query option is not available, not displayed in both. That query folding is not possible for these steps. And you will have to work backward in the apply steps area until you reach the steps in which view native query is available. Display in both type. The process will review the native query that is used to transform the data set. Now, what are native queries? Native queries are possible for the following transformation: when you are adding an index column, when you are merging and appending column of different tables with two different sources, changing the data type of a column, okay, running complex data DAX functions. So a good guideline to remember is that if you can translate the transformation into select SQL statements, which include operators and clauses such as group by, sort by, where, union, all, and join, you can use query folding. Okay, as is that. So let's answer our question. All right. Let's answer our question. For question 1, I would like to have Mr. Godwin, question 1. What do you think is the answer to question 1? Mr. Godwin, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
So help us answer question number 1. If you were following, you know.
Which storage mode leaves the data at the source? Import.
Which storage mode leaves the data at the source data? Are you sure you understand that statement? Read it again.
Which storage mode leaves the data at the data source?
What does it mean to leaves?
That does not take it, cannot, or probably cannot access it, cannot remove it. Yeah.
So which one out of those 3 types that we discussed?
It's import.
Are you sure? Mr. Tolu, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
All right. Help us answer question 1.
Okay, direct query. Let me take direct query.
Why do you want to take direct query?
I'm looking at it that I directly seem to just you can go straight, you can access directly the source, and probably you can also be given access to edit.
Check this page.
Sir,
I'm saying you should read this page.
which page? Okay.
What I'm explaining.
It means specifies the storage mode of a table and lets Power BI determine how they cache data for reports. How to cache data for reports. Is that what you're saying, Ashuri?
Yes. So answer our question.
Number 1.
Yes, number 1.
I'm not certain.
You are not certain. Okay, good. Mr. Kayode, can you answer question number 2? Is Mr. Kayode on this call? All right. Mr. Godwin, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, you don't answer question 1, right?
Sir?
You don't answer question 1.
Yes,
Okay.
I answered, but
All right. Hi, Kelvin.
okay.
Hello, Kelvin. Do we have Mr. Kelvin on this call? Do we have Mr. Kelvin on this call? Okay. Hello, fantastic Debbie. Are you there? Hello, fantastic Debbie. Are you there? Okay. Fantastic Debbie. Are you there? Hi, Kelvin. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so Answer question number 2. You were following us.
Excuse me, please. I was going to respond, but my network got bad, so I don't know what was the question. What was asked?
No, it's already displayed. It's displayed on your screen. Just look at question number 2 and then answer, because they are very simple questions. You have been following us. Okay, I'm waiting.
I said, can I have the options of the technologies again? Can I just see them, please?
It doesn't have an option. If you were following the class, you would have known what we were talking about. Hello?
I'm here.
Yes, if you were following, you would have, because the last slide is what we spoke about before this question. Then you would have known what we were talking about. Are you sure you were not cut off at some point? Okay, so who can help us? Who can help us? Mr. Tolu, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you make an attempt to question number 2?
You mentioned it to try.
Yes, I have been mentioning it because I really want us to spend time and follow these lessons so that it's for our advantage.
I don't know, sir.
You said what?
Query performance.
Query performance. So which technology improves performance by generating a single query statement? It will generate a single statement to retrieve and then transform source data. Like I said, we've been having this thing. What do you think this is?
Query folding.
You can see that you were wrong. Like I said, this was the last slide we did before going to that question. So I want us to pay attention. You know why? We have paid for this class sincerely. Can you all see this logo here? Can you see it? Can you see? This is directly from Microsoft. I want sincerely, directly from Microsoft. Let me go back to the beginning of our slide. Directly from Microsoft, as you can see. Another arms of Microsoft called Microsoft Learn, where they are teaching people. So you can see that what you are learning is called role-based. It's a role-based learning. Why? The role you want to take is the role of a data analytics or a data engineer. So it is a structured training to help you, come into that role. Please, we can't take this lightly. It might look like a new concept, but But no matter how new this concept are, I'm trying to make sure that you can understand it. And I'm expecting you to ask questions. You understand? All through the class now, for the past 1 hour, I've been talking now. Nobody asked questions. Is it like you heard all of you knew all this concept before? No, now. Ask questions. Oh, you are saying this thing is becoming a common theme. Oh, which one is this? How does this one relate to this? That is how you will be justified for the fact that you've paid money to learn something new. Do you understand? Ask questions, because it's really going to help us. Because by the time we move into the hands-on approach, it will be easier for us to do. So let's check the answers to our. Let's check the answers to our question. Okay. So these are our question. So question number 1 says, which storage mode leaves the data at the data source? Like Mr. Godwin was trying to say, this data is at the data source, so it doesn't copy it. You understand? So it's not import. You can see the answer is not import. It's a direct query. Okay, I'm coming now. I'm only for like 10 minutes. So as you can see, guys, it leaves the data there. It doesn't copy the data. It doesn't, like I told you, your import will copy a copy of your data. For example, if you are importing your passport, yes, sir. So if you are importing your data into somewhere, for example, you want to copy data from my laptop to your flash drive, maybe you will see a copy of it. You understand? But when you are doing a direct query, it just go in there, it leaves the data, it just connects, run a query, brings out what you want to bring, and then connect to it within. It's like it's taking a snapshot of what is inside the database to see it, but you won't have it copied on the Power BI memory. Okay, I'm expecting you to ask questions so that let's make this class. Do you understand? So question number 2, as you can see, Mr. Tolu, query folding. What does this do? It's a new technology that improves your performance by generating a single query statement to retrieve everything that you want. Okay, don't worry, we'll perform all of this when the time comes. So question number 3, what can you do to improve performance when you are getting data in Power BI? I was mentioning them. Who can help us? Who else is in this class? Okay, fantastic Debbie. Now I want to know. Question number 3. At least there are 4 or 5 things that I mentioned. Hello? Fantastic Debbie, do you still have you here? Fantastic Debbie. Okay, do we have Ayodeji? Mr. Kayode, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Mr. Kayode, kindly answer this question number 3 if you have been following us. So to improve performance, when you are getting your data from Power BI, there are 5 things that you can do. At least mention 2. Yes, sir. Now you're smiling. You know why this training will be so taxing for all of you. Number 1, you are looking at slides, and I want you to glue to the slide and follow it. It helps you to do retention, to say, okay, I can see. You can see that there's no much word on your slide. There's no much words there, but there are key points that you need to see, and helps you to ask questions even before. If while I was doing this training, some of you have been asking questions, some of these things will have stick. Why this question? So you should know that throughout this training, there's going to be review questions. have it at the back of your mind. You can see it's there. Review question is there, whether you like it or not. When you learn something new, they will ask you review question. It helps us. So, Mr. Kawde, can you tell us 2 or 3 out of those 5 things that we can do to improve performance? I gave an example clearly.
I'm trying to rack my brain and get it anyway. But
Most of the others.
Who can help us?
Daddy.
Who can help?
Is it the part where you talked about upgrading your hard drive?
Sorry, you speaking? Can you mention your name so that
It's
it's
Kevin.
easier for us?
Kevin.
Hi, Kelvin.
Kevin.
Yes, you have not even answered anything.
Hi.
Okay, so Mr.
I was
Kelvin,
going to say, is it the part where you talked about upgrading your? Is it the part where you talked
Mr.
about
Kelvin,
upgrading your
Mr.
drive?
Kelvin, Mr. Kelvin, don't be a
Yeah.
Nigerian. Don't use my question to answer question. The question there is,
Okay.
what can you do
Upgrading
to
your
improve
drive, your hard
performance?
drive.
So if you know what you can do, tell us. If you are wrong, we'll tell you are wrong.
Upgrade
If you
your
are
hard
right,
drive.
we'll tell
Upgrade
your
your hard
hardware.
drive. Hardware.
Upgrade
Sorry.
your hardware. Okay. What
That's
else?
the one I can
You
remember
can,
for now.
okay, at least you tried. You can also increase, you can also create an index. Do you all remember?
Yeah.
And create an index. So this is where I speak about that the reason for implementing this process is to ensure that transformation can take place in the original data source. Do you understand? Server, and do not overwhelm Power BI computing resources. So you can use Power Query to load data into your Power BI. Using Power Query editor, you can then you can then make further transformation to your data, such as what are the transformation you can do? You can rename your data, you can delete your data columns, you can append, you can filter, you can do all of those things. Okay. Now, he said the benefit of querying folder includes. I want to see where he was speaking about. Does not run through transformation locally. Okay, so all direct query dual storage mode data source must have backend server processing ability to create a direct connection, which means the query folding is an automatic capability that you can use. So if all transformation can be reduced to a single select statement, then query folding can occur. Can you see that question number 2? Can you see that? So if transformation can be reduced to a single select statement, then query folding. Can you see now? Can occur. Then it says something here. Option that query folding is not possible for these steps. Is available. This process will receive a natural query for transformation. Okay. Let's see. Adding an index column. For native query are possible for the following transformation. A good. Okay. I think it's not this one. Okay, optimizing. Okay, so I think it's this one. The performance in Power Query depend on performance of the data source. So the variety of data sources that Power Query offers is very wide, and performance tuning here is this place. The performance tuning techniques for each sources are equally wide. I spoke about tuning, that's it, to fine tune your performance. You understand? So what are those things that you use? For instance, if you extract data from a Microsoft SQL Server now, all you need to do is follow the performance tuning guidelines for your product. So good SQL Server performance tuning techniques. So can you see now? Can you see those techniques? They're about to tell us those techniques. So good SQL Server performance techniques include number 1, you can create index of the data, index creation. You can upgrade your hardware. You can execute plan tuning, and then do your data. Then do your data compression. Data compression helps you to reduce that data so that it can run very well. I don't know why this one is behaving. So you can do, see, you can do include index creation. Okay. Hardware upgrades, execution planning, and then your data compression. So these are some of the things that you can do. So if you have a question like this, so let's look at that question again. So what can you do to improve performance when you are getting data from your Power BI service? Say you can do some calculations in the original data source. Okay, as you can see, some calculations in the original, so it will help you do those fine tuning. So lesson 3, resolve data error. Resolve data error. So this is going to be the our final topic tonight, subtopic tonight, before we go into, we now begin to download those machines that we need. You understand? So how do you resolve your data error? You know, because this is one of the work that you have to do as a data analyst, because you get errors, and when you're getting error, how do you resolve those errors? Identify and resolve data import error. You may encounter the following error. You know, you're trying to import data. Okay, no, you're not doing direct query this time around. You're not doing direct query this time around. You have done import. You know, when you do an import, a copy of your data is copied into the cached memory of your Power BI. So you may encounter the following error. So now, don't forget, in your questioning, they're going to ask you the type of errors you can encounter. Remember, you're going to do review question. Remember, you're going to do review question. So as you can see, so what are the type of data error that you can get when you are importing your data? So you may encounter the following error. Number 1, query timeout. Number 2, couldn't find data formatted as a table. For example, if your data is not formatted as a table, you can't find it. Then number 3, you not find file. You get. Number 4, data type error. So don't say you don't know now. You are a data analyst. You are a data analyst. Then you must be able to know some errors that you will face while you are working. So look at this error screenshots now. Look at this error screenshot. It's saying you can refresh your data. You can see. So look at this first error. The data is maybe company. The name of the data is company. You get. So it said data source error. Now you cannot see ODBC error. Timeout. That means it's telling you that it cannot communicate to your database, because this ODBC means something related to your database. Maybe the database has been closed out, because your database they can also time out because of security purpose. Then it says duplicators. Maybe another database called, it says load was cancelled by an error in loading a previous table. Maybe another database called invoices. Load was cancelled by error in loading. Do you understand? Maybe another. So look at it very well, because it's going to be asking you different data error. So what are the source? Errors? What can cause this error? Do you understand? Number 1, your query can time out. Number 2, your data may not have been formatted well. Okay, your data may not have been formatted well. That's why I'm saying couldn't find data formatted as stable. Then number 3, you can't even find the file. Do you understand? Then number 4, there's a type error. The type error means that when it's supposed to be putting names or you are seeing numbers, when you're supposed to be putting numbers, you are putting names, you are putting alphabets. There's a type error. You get the idea. So you might not be able to read it. Can you hear me? So, as you can see, so it's saying here that while importing data into Power BI, you may encounter error resulting from different factors. So now let's pay attention to all these factors. What are the factors that can help us, that can cause error? Like you said, we have about 4 of it, on the slide. So Power BI imports from numerous data sources. Okay, each data sources might have dozens and sometimes hundreds of different error messages. Okay, so now other components can cause errors such as the hard drive, the network, software services, and operating systems. So you can see a whole lot can cause your error. So you must understand, you must know, apart from your query timeout, incorrect formatting, and not being able to find files, you can see that sometimes your data can come from different sources, and because it's coming from different sources, you can get errors, maybe from your hard drives. Hard drive means where you have kept the full file. Maybe the file is corrupted. Even then some files are on a particular network. When you're working in an organization, there's what we call file shares, file servers, where you need to access those servers within the network. Something might be wrong. Then software services. Then there's some data you get from some softwares. Maybe your Office 365, your streams, depending, maybe Azure, any services, software services, anything can happen to it. Even the operating system can be a problem. Okay, data can often not comply with any specific schema. That is the data type error. So your schema is how you want your data type to look like. Okay, so details. Now we are giving details of this error now. So when you say query, what does it mean? Hardware resources are being constrained by concurrent user using the same data. So you can see that this one is an hardware problem. So your SQL server is not communicating to your Power BI anymore. That's timeout. Okay, when you say timeout expired, this is another type of error. This indicates that you have pulled too much data according to your organizational policies. Can you see now? So meanwhile, they've told you that you cannot query more than 10 gig of data. You cannot query more than 1 gig of data. So you want to query 3 gig at the same time. Not that you cannot query it, but you see, the organization, they want to be sure that their data is saved. So there are a lot of policies around those data safety. Okay. Now, couldn't find data. So Power BI expects to find data formatted as a table, from Excel, and you couldn't find it. Couldn't find files caused by the file moving locations or permissions. Or do you get? For example, maybe you want to upload a file and you think that file is on your desktop. Meanwhile, you have moved it to your document, or you have moved it to music file or video file. You won't find it. You understand? Okay. So the last error here is data type error. This is an error in interpreting the data type in Power BI. The resolution to this error is unique to the data source. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So see now, we have a review question, as you can see. Thank God. We have a review question. So I would want Fantastic Debbie to answer this question. Are you there? Do we have Fantastic Debbie on this Line now. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So let's start this question and answer this question.
Error blank.
Sorry?
Sorry. Timeout expired. Oh. Sorry, couldn't find data.
Couldn't find data. Okay. Thank you for your answer. Who else do we have there? Mr. Kayode, yes, your turn. Mr. Kayode, can we read you? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so answer this one.
Okay, what type of import error might leave a column blank? Okay. I think that one that said couldn't find fit, that data type error. I think I'm taking data type error.
Okay, so let me ask one more person. All right, Mr. Godwin. Mr. Godwin. Is Mr. Godwin there? All right, so let's check our answer. So now we have our answer. That's what Mr. Kayode gave. So data type error, because he can't read the data, so he will leave the column blank. Okay. All right. So overview, we were able to cover getting data from various data sources, optimizing our performances, resolving data. So now lab, prepare data in your Power BI desktop. Okay. All right. All right. So we have come to the end of this particular module. Okay. So now, so I would want us to go now and then download our Power BI. Okay, so Mr. Kelvin, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so can you share your screen with us? I hope you are using a laptop.
I am.
All right, so share your screen with us. So we are going to be starting our hands-on labs and practicals.
I don't know yet to I've never had to share my screen before, so I can't say for sure how to share my screen.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
I can, yeah.
You can see your name as K, right?
Yes, I can.
All right. Just follow the arrow. Follow this arrow. So on
Should
your
I click on the name?
no. Just follow the arrow. Can you see? You will see share.
Yeah.
So click on share. What do you see?
An option to type. Is that it?
Sorry?
Let me do. I can't see anything.
Have you clicked on share? Just like the way I asked you to follow.
Yes, I have. Yes, yes,
Then
yes.
it will bring up your screen. Click on your screen.
Okay. I can't recognize my screen. Okay.
You should be able to share now.
It's not coming up. It doesn't bring up anything new when I click on my screen. When I click on share, sorry.
Okay. Do we have to? Okay, so let me stop sharing. All right. So can you see the icon that says share? Hello, Kelvin.
Yeah.
Beside your mic, can you see share?
Yes.
Click
Open
on
share
it.
3. Yeah.
Now you click.
It wasn't showing before. I have.
Then you now click on the one that says screen. You see Windows. You see screen.
Okay.
Click on the one that says screen. Just click on it. Have you done that? So
I
now you've
have.
learned
Can
how.
you see it?
Now, congratulations. You've learned how to share your screen today.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. That's part of the training. Okay. So everybody
Okay, that's fine.
everybody's going to share their screen. Oh. So it's part of. So maximize your screen, sir. Your browser, maximize it. No. You are stopping sharing. Maximize your browser. You don't stop the share.
coming.
Go and share again.
I've shared it again.
It's not coming up. Okay, now it's coming up. So maximize your screen. Yes, good. So I hope you are all following. Please, I don't want us to. I won't. It's not good to be repeating all this process. So let's just follow. So now, okay, that means you are using your Teams within your browser. So that's good. So go to a new browser, a new page. Bro, click a new page now.
I'm coming.
Click on that hide. This one that says
Okay,
stop
I've
share.
seen it.
You see that hide.
I have a new page. Oh.
Now you have a new page. Good. Now type Power BI.
Oh, you want me to download?
Yes. So everybody, if you are working on your laptop, download Power BI. Power BI, as you can see. Power BI download. Click on Power BI. Type download. You need to put download with it.
Okay.
Remember I told you that we have 3 types of Power BI. Power BI desktop, Power BI as a service, and Power BI mobile. So we are downloading the Power BI desktop. Okay, so click on that first thing, download. Yes, that first one.
I think it's the second one. Okay.
Click on the first one. So guys, Mr. Kayode, I guess Mr. Kayode should have Power BI already. You don't have it on your laptop, please download it on your laptop. Okay. Debbie, Mr. Tolu, Mr. Godwin, please, let's follow that process. Scroll down. This is not. Go back again. Just click that arrow back. Click that arrow back from your browser. Okay. Yes.
You go back again.
Yeah, click that one.
Which one?
The second one. The
Which of
second
them?
one.
This
Second
one
one that
now.
says Microsoft Power BI Desktop. Not this one, no.
I'm only seeing Power BI desktop.
Bro, go to your arrow at the top.
Yeah. Okay. So which one?
So go to your arrow at the top. The arrow at the top on your browser.
What do you mean by arrow? Because
You know what an arrow is. Look for an arrow there on your browser and go back.
yes. I should go back.
The arrow beside the refresh button. No, the
No,
other
not that
Did
one.
you say go back?
The other one.
The other one. The other one.
To your right.
The other arrow.
Yeah.
No, other one. No. The arrow beside the refresh.
This
See the
one.
refresh button here. No, not that one. Come to this arrow.
Bro, can you just type Power BI download? Just type Power BI download. This is taking our time. Just search for Power BI download.
Mhm.
Then click on the one that has desktop download. Put desktop in front. Oh yeah, brother.
So I have options here already. Can you see where my cursor is? Microsoft Power BI desktop. Should I click on it?
Click on the third one.
Download Microsoft Power BI desktop from official Microsoft.
Bro, we don't have time.
Huh?
Click on the third one.
Kevin, the third one is download Microsoft Power BI desktop from official Microsoft.
That's not done.
Maybe you might have to work on your network. Your network is kind of very slow. Try and get a network that can help you. Okay, so do you know what to do? Can you hear me? Please, can you hear me before you do
I can hear
anything?
you.
Please go back to
I
now.
can hear you.
Just carry your arrow to the URL.
Mhm.
Do you know what your URL is? Click on that URL.
Yeah, I know.
Just click on it. Click on it once.
I have.
Okay. Press Ctrl C. Have you copied?
Yes.
Now go to your Microsoft Teams. That tab, your tab in the middle. You are not browsing. Go to your Microsoft Teams.
I know.
Bro, Microsoft Teams,
Mhm.
the tab in the middle. Yes. Now, can you see where your red button is?
Yes.
Now you see a chat sign. You should be able to chat.
Okay.
Click on it.
It's not coming up. Oh.
It's not coming up. Okay, it's okay.
It's not opening.
Okay. Do you have your WhatsApp opened on your laptop?
No, I don't.
Okay. Should, so that things like this you can just drop it on our group. Okay, because we need that link. All right. So go back to your download. Go back to your download. Go back to your download.
I've gone back there.
Okay, good. Okay, so everybody, I want you to look at this. This is where we download Power BI. That's why I wanted him to copy that link to us so that it's easier for us to. But now you might not be able to send that link to us. So had it been that you're
The
able
only
to open
way,
your. Okay,
can I
so
send
okay,
it as mail to Maright so that she can then forward it to the
okay. Now send it to Asmail to Maright. Just send it to Asmail to Maright. Open. I can see your mail open there. Just go there. Open your mail. Your mail is open on this link now. You don't need to open any tab. Your mail is the first tab here.
Okay,
Click on the first tab here. Good. Okay. Now, just tap down. Tap down. Don't paste yet. Can you tap down? Click in front of your H. Your H. Click in front of H. Click in front of H. Yes. H. Have you clicked? Click in front of H. Is your laptop hanging?
Okay.
Now press enter.
It's not though.
Press enter. Is your network?
Enter.
Baba, put that arrow at the back of H. Put that arrow at the back of H.
You said in front of H. That was how I was confused initially.
Bro, you know what I wanted? Just push it down. I want you to push it down. Push everything down. Where now? Where tap down, tap down.
Okay.
You have not tapped now.
It's down enough.
So it's okay like that, so that you have space for that.
Maybe it's coming late there.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Oh yeah, go to your download. Don't send yet, though. You will send everything later. Go to your download. The network is very slow. That's
No, not that. Kelvin, the download tab where you copy the Power BI link.
Okay. All right.
okay. So now scroll down a little. You can now click on your download. Scroll down. Okay, so your Power BI.
Download. I think it's downloading.
That's not Power BI. Scroll down. That's not Power BI.
No.
Scroll down, bro. Scroll down. That's not Power BI. Look at what you downloaded. You downloaded a text file. Can you see what you
Let me go
downloaded now?
back again.
The text file. Okay, I think
This is not. Let me go back so you see what I downloaded.
it's text
Maybe I
now.
clicked
What you
download.
downloaded
Okay.
now? .txt. You downloaded a love letter. That's what you downloaded.
Okay, so where am I supposed to see it?
I need to see your screen. Just scroll up. You know, we are getting this the feed. Click on that detail. Don't know why we are having.
Is it
Learn more.
possible? Is it possible to take charge of Kelvin's screen from your end so that you can control his screen?
No, you don't have that subscription. Can't take charge. I've thought of it.
Okay.
I've clicked on details.
See, that's not what we are looking for. Microsoft Power BI is a combined desktop application. Microsoft Power BI desktop is a combined to Power BI. Okay, don't worry. This is it's kind of. Can you? Okay, don't worry. Let me share my screen. It's really wasting time. Just follow my screen. Give control to. Sorry, can you all see my screen? Please, I need you all to confirm, please. Can we all see my screen?
Yes, yes, sir. I can see your screen.
Yes. Why? I'm working on those links so that I will send to you. Then you all go and then download those things for yourself. So, for example, look at this. It says download and install Azure Data Studio. So you are going to download this. Okay. So once you get that mail, just click on this link here. What I was trying to ask Kevin to do the other time. So once you click on this link, you open it. Just come here. Can you see? Can you see? Once you come here, you download. Once you come here, you can download your SQL Server. Okay. Hello. So sorry about that. That was a change in network. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So like I was trying to say, so once you get this one, download SQL Server. You're going to be downloading this. See, SQL Management Studio. So you can click here directly, it will download. Or perhaps if you go down, you can click here directly. See, you can click this one, say free download, it will download. Okay. To download, then install the version of that. Okay. Okay, so then number one is SSMS, your SQL Server Management Studio. Like I said, you can click here to download. You can click here to download. Okay. Then number two, your not sure. This one will look like. That fast. So I hope you can see my screen. If you look at the Power BI that you are trying to download now, If you look at the details, you will see it. So guys, can you see? It is 339 MB. Okay. So what you do, just press download here. Okay. So I'm copying this. I'm also sending. So making three things you are going to be downloading. Okay. What else? And four. Will give you. You also download. You also download Adventure Work database. See, guys, can you see? This is a database you are going to be using for this training. You understand? Adventure World database. So here now, you come down, and you see download backup file. Eh? Then you click on each one. There is OLTP, there is data warehouse, and there is lightweight. So click on 2019. So leave the remaining. I beg, leave the remaining. You're only going to download these three datas. The one for 2019, the one for, you understand? Just download these first three. 1, 2, 3. Are you getting the idea? We are only downloading this one, this. You understand? Adventure Work. That's the name of the file. So I'm going to give us the link for Adventure Work. Okay. Number 5. We are going to be downloading SQL Server. So as you can see, we're downloading Microsoft SQL Server 2019. So let me check the size. 6 MB. Compilation. Powerful library for development. Okay, no. No. So this is the name that you are downloading. This one is SSMS. This one is at Azure Data Studio. So, what's this one? Okay, I think this one is Power BI. It's Power BI. So, okay, okay, so guys, do have Kevin here. Yes, we do have her. Sorry, I need your emails, guys. Guys, I need your email, please. Hello. Mr. Kelvin, I need your email. Mr. Godwin, I need your email.
I'll send them to your WhatsApp now.
Okay.
I think who we have left is Debbie, Godwin, Kelvin.
I need Debbie, Kelvin.
Okay, I'll send them right now. I've sent the three of them to you.
Okay. Then what about Debbie's zone?
They're all there.
I'm saying two. There's no Debbie zone here.
Debbie Julius. It's there.
Can you help me send? This is
Have you seen it?
not yet.
It's on your personal WhatsApp page.
Can't see Debbie Julius here. It's not correct. It's not pronounced correctly.
It's not on that email. It's on your personal WhatsApp page. I've dropped the three. I forwarded the three emails to you. Have you seen them?
Yes, I have. I'm trying to.
Okay.
Who else do we have? What about Shegun? Do we have his email too? All right. Okay, so we've sent an assignment across. Because of our time, we have come to the end of today's class. So now the assignment I sent across includes about 5 different check signs. Includes about 5 different links. Okay, so each links. I want to be sure you are seeing my screen. So of course, these are week 2. We just let us take it as a week 2 assignment. So just click on those links directly from your laptop and download them like I have shown. So for your adventure work, like I said, you are going to download these 3 stuffs. So create a folder and download all these 3. Create a folder, download all the 5 things. So the first one is your sequence management studio. The other one is your Azure Data Studio. The third one is your Power BI. So you can see these are heavy machines, like I said. These are heavy machines. Then you must be ready to work. Then Adventure Data Works is also here, and then your SQL Server. So this SQL Server is the one at the back end now. So we are going to do everything together. Okay. So with this now, I've come to the end of today's class. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for listening. I'll now hand over to the class administrator.
Thank you so much.
Or would there be any question? Maybe
You have
let
a
me
I have a
just
question?
question for the
one
tutor.
or two. Okay.
Yeah, I have issues signing in today. It was L. The something pushed me out. In fact, it just pushed me out again now. Thank God I could be able to rejoin. So it's as if I don't even know what happened today. But I heard that you have to download some things. Now I have all these things that we should download. I have it on my VM. Do I still need to download it again, or that one is fine?
We actually don't have the VM again. Or do you have an Azure account, personal one?
No, I don't have a personal Azure account.
Or you are talking about the other one, the other time?
Mm.
No, that one has been, all those resources has been removed.
Okay.
All those resources have been removed.
So where do we download this one now? On the
You
laptop.
download it on our laptop.
On the laptop. Laptop Malano. Sorry, everybody.
You understand? So, like I said, what we can do, we can actually create an account, or if you don't mind, where we can, because within a month we can have access to $200 from Microsoft, where we can the virtual machine to begin to use this. So I will also advise that we also, you know, take advantage of the Azure platform to learn all of this. To be sincere, let me tell you, by the time you download the first one and this third one, I can tell you your computer will misbehave. I can bet it with you.
In fact,
Um,
that's why I asked. I said, let me ask you. Because if it's on the computer, I'm sorry, I
not,
cannot download it on my
this is
computer.
not, this is not,
So,
let me,
I have a
Computer is
question. So,
already slow. In fact, I switched it on to join the team. It was just, I just shut it down.
so
That's
now
it.
look at it. Look at my
So,
computer. Here is my Azure Data Studio. This is it here. Then here is Power BI. Here is the SQL Server making 3. And then there is also the SQL, then there is SSMS too, the first one. As you can see, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio is there. Is here. Then if I put Azure Data Studio, you can see Azure, that's you can see making 2 Data Studio. Then if I say SQL Express, here is it. I have it here. I also have that one there. Then if I say Adventure Works, I have a lot of Adventure Works materials that I've downloaded, as you can see. Adventure Work database. See, I have them. I have a lot of. So there are 2 things we can do. Number one is that you download all these things on your computer, and your computer is so strong that you can carry it, no problem. You understand? You know. If not, what we can do is we can create an Azure account. So from there, create a virtual machine where you can now put all of these things we are talking about. So anytime you want to work, you just sign in into your Azure account and then open your virtual machine and then you start to work. So for example, let me show you what your Azure account looks like. I think, let me see if I still have a virtual machine. Okay, my own laptop is hanging now. Okay, so for data engineering, we are going to be using this Azure Synapses Analytics. So this one is not downloadable. This one is on-prem. I mean, this one is on cloud. So you can see we already have our class named Maright Data Engineering, as you can see. So this machine, this one is the most powerful machine. So nobody can even download this one. This one, once you download, you can't even download this. Your machine will just blow. So it is on the cloud. So we just sign into the cloud and when we use it from there. You understand? So this one is even this one is for those of us that are doing data engineering, Okay. So you can see that I didn't even measure this one at all. So by the time we move into data engineering, for those of us that are in data engineering classes, this is the platform we're going to be learning. Okay, so it's just as you can see. So from this one alone, you can run your SQL script, KQL script, notebooks, Apache. You can see it's also connected to Power BI. It's a very mad something. Okay. So what I wanted to do to show you guys is this. Let me go into this account. Let me see if we can still. Okay. Slow down. Okay, so I'm just trying to let us see. Well, my computer is getting slower. I'm expecting it to be very fast. I don't know why. Okay, so all right. So this is a virtual machine. So if I decide to, okay, before I even open the virtual machine, let me close it. So can you see that you also have Power BI here? So again, you can see that you have Power BI here again. So you can also see that you have SQL Server too. There's SQL Server too. So which means all those things I'm asking you to download, you can actually do it from here. You know. So here you start the machine, and then the machine come into play. So because of our time, so anyway, let me just hand over to our class administrator. So thank you so much for your time, and we are going to be meeting again on Saturday. What's everything? We are going to be meeting again on Saturday, 21st, 21st of May. Okay. Again, Saturday, 21st of May. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Very quick one. Given the fact that there can be challenges with downloading the links that has been shared, if anyone is encountering any problem whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to us. Let's see how we can help. But as much as possible, I would encourage you to please try to download. If you have to take out things from your laptop that are not quite needed and you need space from them, you can delete them so you have the space to download those things, because having them on your laptop saves you the cost of having to use Azure platform that you might need to pay for at some point. So you just be able to do what you need to do free of charge. So it's either you do that or you use the Azure platform that might require you to pay after your free period is expired. So having said that, last week we sent a feedback form that everyone should fill, and not everyone filled. Please, your feedback is important to us because we want to hear your opinion. We want to be sure that this class is you're getting value for the class, and whatever suggestion you have or whatever complaints you have, it's a place you can let us know so that we are able to work on it and as much as possible give you the best of this class. So once again, thank you everyone for your patience. Sincere apologies, we're taking 30 minutes past the time we're supposed to close. Thanks for staying this long. We'll send the link. I've sent the link for yesterday's class to the group, and we'll be sending the link for today's class. If we don't send it tonight, we'll send it latest tomorrow. So please find time during the week to also go through the classes again. And I observed from today's class that I wouldn't know if we jot, but I had mentioned when we're going to start classes that let's try to get our jotters. So I'm just going to recount again that we should try to get our jotters so that when classes are going on, we're able to take notes and we can make reference to these notes later. So once again, thank you everyone. Please do not forget to fill the feedback form that I'll be sharing in a bit. Thank you, and I do wish you a spectacular week ahead. Bye everyone.